guys, Jess here with Offbeat Life, and for those of you who've been here for a while know that I am notoriously terrible on follow-through. I'm terrible on follow-through, you guys. So this is my gift to all of you who have stuck with us through it all. A request that I get fairly often is to kind of give you guys the big picture of our mortgage, basically. So I think this will be our millennial mortgage story, because we are actually millennials, which is crazy to me. We're on the older end of millennials. We're 33 and 34, but so what I've got here is the story about how we got this house, how we wound up here. So starting with this lovely little couple in the background, are so cute. So let's see, we got this house at the end of 2010, New Year's 2010. And I shouldn't even say I had house fever like you would not believe. We had actually just gotten engaged just prior to buying the house, but we'd been kind of thinking about these sort of things. So I grew up in the suburbs, so I wanted something that was more rural. I wanted more space. And also, we had, wedding kind of on the mind, and I didn't want to rent a place to get married. So I wanted to have enough space so that we could get married at home, get married in the yard. So that was most of what was not compelling me, but most of the factors that I was looking for in a house. So, we were looking in the rural areas around where we were, about half an hour outside of Syracuse, New York, so central New York. Prices out here are a lot more reasonable as well. Coming from the suburbs, taxes up there were easily up into like the $4,000. So I was looking for a smaller tax price tag as well as a smaller, purchase price tag. That at least was conscious enough at that time that I didn't want to overburden us with a mortgage and be house poor, even though we kind of were. So I set a cap of $100,000 for a house, which sounds really low, I'm sure, in like the national market, but in the rural market, central New York is pretty reasonable. So what it ended up coming down to, there were two houses that were almost identical for about the same price tag, somewhere around $75,000, $80,000. Both just about exact same square footage, same almost everything. One was a little bit in a quieter area, quieter street, which, these days, 10 years in, would have been nice. But the main reason that we didn't go with that one was because that house was manufactured. So it was on a slab. It was, I think it could technically be considered a double wide, but it was a manufactured home on a slab, whereas the home that we bought was stick built, or is still here, stick built with a basement. So that's what ended up compelling me to purchase this house. So, like I said, we are millennials, and I had super house fever. It's still crazy to me that we were able to buy this house. We had no money saved. We put no money down. We had no money for closing costs. We had nothing, you guys. Like at the time, I was out of school, so I was starting to pay down some of my student loans. You can see kind of some of that in my debt story. So I was starting to pay down some of my student loans. I was financially conscious in that sense, but we had no position buying a house other than I wanted one. So good old Uncle Sam steps in and they say, sure, it doesn't matter that you have no money. We'll go ahead and give you guys an FHA loan. Don't you worry. You don't have to put anything down. And we can even go ahead and roll all those pesky closing costs right into the mortgage. Nothing down, you guys. Absolutely mind-blowing. Horrible idea. So that's what we did, and we ended up, I don't remember exactly what the closing price of the house was. It was probably somewhere around like $75,000, $76,000. And once we rolled those closing costs in, it was $80,000 exactly. So the initial mortgage was $80,000. But look at how cute. We had our little house. We were so happy. We weren't renting anymore. We didn't have upstairs neighbors stomping around. We had our own space. So we were thrilled. So, we went about our business. We were, remodeling. We were racking up some consumer debt with Lowe's, doing a little remodeling here and there, and just kind of living life super normal. Well, not super normal, but very normal. And so a couple pictures of our house here, kind of the best that I could find on social media there. But that's it. It's just shy of 1,700 square feet. It is on a 1 acre lot. It's a ranch. It has like a 1.5 car garage there, weirdest thing. It has a basement. It is 3 bedrooms. At this point, 10 years in, we use it as a master bedroom, Gavin's bedroom, and the third room is RJ's office, or kind of our combined home office. And then it's got the living room with the really nice stone fireplace, very large open kitchen, and additional room in the back. It's got some workout gear in it right now that we're not using. We're terrible. But that's the gist of it. Nice little 1,700 square foot ranch for a reasonable price, $80,000, with a tax price tag that hovers around, I think right now it's sitting around $2,400 to $2,600 a year. We pay school and county taxes here, or town, something like that. So that was our whole, purchase story. We had the FHA loan, so we had mortgage insurance. I always call it mortgage interest, mortgage insurance that was costing us about $50 a month. So fast forward through our whole debt story, and we'll jump over here. We get to the point in 2018 where I finally pay off the last of my student loans. Praise you, Jesus. So exciting. So immediately after that happened, so what I highlighted here was just our regular mortgage payments, and this is just P&I. We also have escrow. So our principal and interest is $395.08, but with our escrow, that ends up being like another $300 to $400. So we usually pay, well, you've seen our budget videos, we pay about $688 a month right now. So these were our regular minimum payments up until the point that we paid the last of the student loans right here. So then what happened was immediately afterwards, since I was still in that gazelle intensity mode, I went basically full bore. What happened was I treated the FHA mortgage as kind of the next part of my debt snowball, because I wanted to kill that mortgage insurance. It was basically just another payment that I wanted gone. So as we went through the last half of 2018, you can see I started putting, big chunks against the mortgage here until we got to the end of October, at which point we got the mortgage balance down to, I believe it had to be 80%, that you had to have your mortgage balance at about under 80% of the original loan that was taken out, and they would remove the mortgage insurance. So we got to that point, and I was super stoked. We basically had a normal mortgage at that point. It's still an FHA, but we had gotten rid of the mortgage insurance, and I was thrilled. So that's what happened in 2018. Then if we jump into 2019, we didn't do a whole lot here, and that's because we were in savings mode. So if you remember, really just the first quarter it was the end of 2018 and the first quarter of 2019, we were saving to repay my dad. And then mostly the remainder of 2019, we were working on baby step 3, getting our fully funded emergency fund. So once we finished that, we started going back at the mortgage a little bit here. So we paid a little bit extra in 2019. Nothing super exciting. Oh, I should have mentioned. So in 2018, by the time we had finished paying off my student loans, I'd gotten to the mortgage. It was sitting just under $68,000. So that year we put $9,500 worth of principal on it, $12,000 altogether, and brought that balance down to $58,000, which was very exciting. So in 2019, like I said, it was mostly just minimum payments until a couple extra payments at the end since we were doing all of our savings. So we brought that down by about $4,700 from $58,000 down to just under $54,000. So, a modest month, but, considering how much we saved, I was absolutely okay with that. And finally, in 2020, we have started putting money on the mortgage. Well, we were, at the end of 2019, and so we've continued to do that while doing some other things. So basically, we've got our minimum payments as well as our principal payments. So we started the year, like I said, just under $54,000, and right now we are sitting at $45,000. So it's almost halfway paid off. Not too bad. I've had a really good year paying that down, and I don't see that letting up anytime soon. So that's kind of where we're at. I have kind of our, I don't want to call it too long-term of a plan. Worst case scenario, I have us kind of projected to pay off the house by 2026. And that's with a fairly modest plan. So hopefully if, things continue to go well for us, hopefully we'll have that done sooner. But as of right now, the projection is 2026 with the more modest conservative plan. So that's our story. That is our millennial mortgage story that we are just about halfway done with. But, at the rate that we're going, hopefully we'll move through it much more quickly than we've been, working on it. It's been 10 years. Hopefully, we can get through it in about 5 more at the most. So that would be a good place to be. So that is the story. If you guys have any other questions, let me know. I think our next video should be our, budget report for, what month is this? September. And then I think what I'll do is I will kind of give you guys a rundown after that of what 2020 has been like. I just kind of glazed over everything in our 8-month budget report. So I'd love to kind of sit down and let you guys know basically everything that's happened, all of the job changes and everything that's shifting kind of in the direction that I've really been wanting things to go in, that I'm really excited about. So you can be looking forward to that, and I will see you guys again soon. Have a great day.